Hi there, this is Dr. Bill Wyatt again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm going to talk about serial extraction again. I've talked about this several times, but this is something that is hard to believe that actually takes place without you using any orthodontic appliances whatsoever. Just we take some teeth out to make some room, and that's about it. Now you watch them, and I allow you to do these reductions of these deciduous teeth, to guide the eruption of the teeth coming in, but we do no orthodontic as such, anything to call this a pure orthodontic case. It is, to me, this is the best orthodontics that can possibly be done. It's just hard to make a charge for it. I mean, it's something you have to kind of learn, and you have patients that you do this on. It was about halfway works, but that helps out finishing them up anyway if you ain't yet but half of the job done. But let's go into this pretty quick here, and I'll show you what we kind of learned or did in this particular case. This is a little girl now. I've got a bunch of pictures of her as she went to school. They passed these on to me, so I photographed these pictures. But this was in 1972. This is very shortly after we had gone into nothing but orthodontics here, so that'll give you some idea about it. Here she is, a little older now, 1974, and you can tell she's a little bit full, but not excess vertical dimension of the face. You don't think there's anything really wrong. Let me go back now. This is, I guess, a teenager, and here she is, more or less, she's a mature lady here at this point, and the vertical height is just perfect in the face, and the profile is good. I'll show in another view. Anyway, here's her models. Her teeth are kind of edge to edge, and she doesn't have any functional problems that I can tell right off. You need to have somebody that's not, of course, sucking their thumb or breathing through their mouth or doing various things with their teeth, their lips, and swallowing them properly, and all these things. If you have somebody with these problems that cause an orthodontic case, then serial extraction is not going to work. I mean, you can do it. It may help you in finishing the case out, but it's not going to do it, because the habits and the things that they do have an effect on the teeth. Even after you can straighten them up, and if they're still doing the same thing, they'll go right back to it sooner or later. So I'm going to go ahead here and look at the models. The midline's pretty well on, and the cuspids are tucked in pretty good, and they overlap in here. And this is a few years later, after we've done this slicing technique, or I don't want to call it a slicing technique, I might want to call it just tooth reduction. Now we shaved this tooth off. This is a deciduous cuspid. We didn't just shave it off. I mean, we took a whole chunk out of the root, maybe going up in here somewhere, like that. But anyway, we cut off about a third of the facial width of the cuspid tooth on both sides, both lower and upper. We did that. Now that let these 4 teeth come in nice. Now you'll notice these are large teeth right here. So there's a genetic problem in this case, which you can't do anything about. I mean, one of the parents has some real big teeth, and she's gotten this gene for those large teeth, and they are big. I mean, you see a lot of different sizes in there, and that protrudes them out over, but then the lower teeth are big too. Now, let's speed on. But anyway, this tells you something in the genetics is the problem. Now, you can have genetics that have one large, broad-faced person and one narrow-faced person, and if they have children, some of those kids are going to have big teeth, and they probably will have smaller facial structure trying to stick those teeth in. And so it's absolutely ridiculous to say that we don't ever extract teeth. They do a ridiculous thing to me. They come in here and try to drive these teeth backwards. Well, why not just take one out and move these into the space and this into the space and admit that you extract, because they extract the wisdom teeth anyway. So in nearly every case where they drive these other teeth back in doing the orthodontics. All right, I'm not going to fuss with those people to do that, but the midline here is right on, and the overjet and overbite is good. Now, a lot of people doing orthodontics don't realize what this means. In other words, if the upper teeth go out over the lower teeth, and the lower teeth come up underneath here about 2 to 3 millimeters, something like that, then when that person bites the sandwich off, they move their jaw forward. In other words, they bring their jaw out here and bite the sandwich or whatever they're biting off. And when they do that, the condyle back here in the back, which is up in the fossa, now when they move out here, the condyle goes forward and has to come down. And now when they bite together, the load is on the joints back here and up here on the front teeth. And if you bite hard, you push the condyle into the strap or the disc, and you can damage the disc biting extremely hard with your front teeth. Now, in life or death situations, people bite hard there. The heck with the joint. They're trying to live through there. And animals the same way there. So back to the human being and the teeth. So the overjet and the overbite are necessary really for a healthy teeth. See, if I go out here to bite a sandwich and I touch my front teeth together, instead of my front teeth hitting, my back teeth or bicuspids or something in the molar area touches first, and then you mash unusually hard to get together out here, and that puts unwanted pressure on this retrodiscal tissue in the back. So it can cause a problem. You run into very few people like that. Most people actually bring their jaw back to get the condyle in place. If you tell them to relax, they'll want to be out here, which is a more peaceful position for the condyle to be in and stay off of that retrodiscal tissue. All right, let's get back here. The computer is writing all this down. I'm sure it's going to make a few mistakes, as I will too. All right, let's go on. Now, this young lady is just biting her front teeth together to show us that we've got space in between here. So when she comes forward with these teeth, they can close down this far and they'll be over the lower teeth. Now when she goes out here to bite a hamburger or anything, she bites off in here, the back teeth do not hit. And this is an essential thing in occlusion, that you can bite your front teeth without the back teeth touching. And also now I can move my jaw to the left and chew, and they hit over here but don't hit over here, because the condyle, the jaw shifts. This condyle is up on top of the fossa, see, and so it doesn't keeps this from touching. I mean, you can chew like this, or you can chew like that. Okay, that's something you can learn from just looking and studying a simple serial extraction case or any case. You need to get those things down in your mind, as those are the things that happen. And I'm going to go on here and we'll try to speed up a little bit. I'm taking a lot of your time. Now, as she gets older, this is 77, you see we've got overjet, the midlight's still on, the cuspids and bicuspids are coming into their spot, and we've taken out the teeth. Now what happened in here, we sliced the deciduous tooth and gave these teeth a room, and then as these pieces of the tooth came out, we took the other part of the baby tooth out here and then reduced this on the side. Did the second phase of the slicing technique, or reduction technique, maybe I should say. All right. Now here, this is, I'm jumping a few years in here. She's 12 years old now, nearly 13, and this is 1990, and we started out in 1972, if I remember correctly. So there's a lot of time has gone by, but somebody got her and talked her into letting them put these ridiculous acrylic crowns on these teeth. And I'm sorry they did. Her teeth, to me, looked plenty good without those. But anyway, that's her teeth. Got a little bit of stain in here, but I think the teeth look better this way than with those crowns. Maybe I'm a little rough on them, saying ridiculous, but to me that's not what I want to spend the rest of my life with, those crowns like that. All right, this is earlier. I'm going back here, and this shows you where we reduced these teeth and got this straightened out. And then when this goes, you take this out, and the cuspid will come in, and then you come back and take the deciduous first molar. This is a permanent first molar, though. Now you take it out. We've got videos on that, all kinds of them. All right, here we are in 1977. There we had the crowns in 90, and we're back again to start off with, and that's the models in 72, and that's a poor picture there, out of order anyway. Here's the upper teeth. They're lined up good, no big problem, and we reduce these teeth. You see how much space it took for us to line these teeth up in here. So what we're going to show you on the x-ray in a minute is that we extracted a first bicuspid right in this area, and that this cuspid and then the second bicuspid come together on their own. I didn't touch them, just made the space for them. And let's watch what they do here. We'll get on these x-rays in a minute. Now here, those deciduous teeth that have been reduced are gone. The permanent cuspids are in. This is 1977, and the second bicuspid is in. And this is the 6-year molar, the second molar, and the wisdom tooth. And by the way, we saved all of the molar teeth, and we sacrificed the bicuspids up here to solve a crowded problem, or just kind of help nature solve a crowded problem. So we've got a gene from one parent that's got big teeth, and we got a gene from another that's got smaller facial structure. And that's what you're dealing with. Okay, there it goes again, 1990. And here's 1972. That's what it was right then. The deciduous cuspids were undersized anyway. Well, they're not, we trimmed them down. That's why they're undersized. And when we took this, came out, and we extracted this. This came out and then extracted this. And now the second bicuspid is under here. You watch it. I'm going to show the x-rays on this here in just a minute. All right, there, they're gone. And the bicuspids have moved up into place. And they're in the place where the first bicuspid would be. And the cuspids are lined up. And this is lined up right in here. No braces, nothing in there except this tongue right here, if used right, pushes on this hard, and this lip structure out here, if used right, makes a form for it to fit into, and that's where those teeth want to go, and that's where the best place for them is. Now you can violate some of that, but you've got to retain it for years until they get accustomed and their body just leaves it there. All right, let me erase that and get on here. And this is the further on down the line. And this is 1990. And that's the way the thing looks in 1990. Now what I'm showing here, this is a wisdom tooth. It's the second molar. It's the first molar. It's the second bicuspid. And this is the cuspid right here. And the first bicuspid is gone right here. But we have the wisdom tooth. So we in essence have swapped a small bicuspid for a big wisdom tooth. And the wisdom tooth is down here. The muscles are just right above the wisdom tooth. If you have a wisdom tooth, you can press down like you're biting hard and put your finger on the muscle here, and you can tell which muscle is pulling on that. And that's almost a direct pull on the wisdom tooth. So wisdom tooth is the best tooth in the mouth for chewing something hard. You may break the tooth, but you can bite awful hard with that. All right, here's the thing that I really want to show you. This young lady has everything is working real good, except she's got teeth that are bigger than her mouth structure. One of her parents has large teeth, and the other one has a smaller bone structure, and she got the bone structure from one and the teeth from another, and they do not fit. And you can put anybody's teeth in there if you want to, but if you took this and spread it out for these teeth in here, this lateral comes in, it's going to be back here somewhere, and we're going to try to put these in here. Then you'll have to extract the wisdom tooth, which would be back in this area, to get those in. or it's kind of silly to go in and push all this back to make room and then come back here and take something out that's harder to take out. To me, that's ridiculous. So I try to speak against that, not people that are doing it think they're doing the right thing, but to me, frequently that is not what you would want to do on a case. Now here we'll go. That's my opinion. They really disagree with that. Now watch what we do here. Now we go on another to 1974, and you see this cuspid is really pushing hard on that right there. And here's the first bite, and there's the second bite, and you got this width of teeth that we're going to try to put between here and here. You could make them fit by expanding the whole thing, but we decided if you did, you're going to end up extracting the wisdom tooth. See, they're back here. This is one that's back in that further. So we kept the wisdom teeth. All right, we're going to take these bicuspids out. Now we go a while longer here, and we've done some reduction on that baby, this tooth right here. So we're going to extract this permanent tooth right here. Now you watch this tooth, what it does, and watch this tooth right here. And we take this out, this tooth will come right down in here, this one will come in here, and it even rotates to some extent when it comes in, and this will move in here, and this will come there. Now watch that happen. It may not be exact, but you can have something that look better than a lot of treated cases. Now this is a few years later, but the first bite is gone. The second bite is here, second bite here, here, and here. Now this will come in, they'll lose this, and this thing will squeeze on up in place. And it is amazing what the tongue now is keeping this formation in here. You won't have to wear a retainer when you have this, because it made itself. And if it keeps doing like it's doing now, it'll stay there. In fact, you can do something to get it off course and it'll go back to this. That's where nature put it. Okay, so now here it is in 1977, and the wisdom teeth are all formed and they're in the mouth, and this, you couldn't hardly do it any better than this. Look at the paralleling of the roots here. It's not perfect. This one could be back a little more. This bicuspid root here is, well, it was back to start with, but it's together enough to where there's no problem with paralleling of the roots, you see. They're not perfect, but they're good. And the wisdom teeth that you would have to extract if we had kept this, you wouldn't have room for it. You even have a little gap in here. This will come down, a little gap over here. Now that's 1977. Let's watch what happened in here. All right, here it is in 1979, 2 years later. I can see this wisdom tooth. This one's up here. I'm sorry this picture doesn't take it in back there all the way, but it's got the wisdom tooth in it also. Hopefully we'll have something. All right, here we go a little further down the line, and here are the wisdom teeth coming in here. And I think I have one here with them. Oh yeah, we do. All right, this is in 1990, and we started this case in 72. So 72 to 82, and this is 18 years after we started the case. And here are these ridiculous crowns that I think somebody could have left off, and that maybe she wanted them, I don't know. And we've got the wisdom teeth, the second molars, the first molars, the second bias, and the first bicuspid is missing in the case. Now also look at the sinus. I dips in around here, and these teeth go up to there and then kind of stop. Now that's coming on the other side of the sinus right there. And the same thing over here. Now these roots look good, and this is 12 of 90. It's almost 91 right there. And that's, these teeth went to these positions on their own. They never had any braces, any brackets or bands, but we did reduce the deciduous teeth, getting some of this in to start with. Kind of helped it out a little bit. There's the overjet when we started, and here it is in 77, and this is the little girl face, and we'll go to this. This is a teenager, and here she is in 1990. That profile is darn good, you know, and it hadn't been touched by anybody except we made the teeth fit the bone structure. And that's the help we gave nature. And I hope that whoever's seeing this, wherever you are, I have no earthly idea where you are or what you'll think of this. But that works. It doesn't matter what country you're from or what nationality or what color your skin is or anything else. This is the same thing. We are all people, and that works. So that's the little girl when we started, and there we come up through this, and this is her when we finished, and that's it. So I thank you for watching. Maybe this stimulates you to learn a little bit more about it or what happens in serial extraction. But it's a vital part of orthodontics. I've done this on missionary kids or people that are going to be off in some way off far country where they don't even heard of orthodontics, you know. And we've done this for children and helped them along, and then when they get back where they can have some regular orthodontics done, if it's not perfect like they want it, then we go in and, of course, they go in and straighten them up again. So I thank you for watching, and I'm going to close out here and say goodbye, if I can close this all right. But I enjoyed being with you. I wish I could see who we're talking to, but I don't guess that's possible. It's pretty good that I can even speak to people all around. So I'm going to stop. Thank you again.